All right, you're tuned into the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1, your love music, love live station on a humble. Doesn't I never seem to understand how we get through the days so quickly. Someone needs to actually explain that to me. It felt like 2 seconds ago was Monday, and now today is Wednesday. Anyways, this is the best start to your morning. My name is Ayokunmi, and we'll get into the world of business right now, talking about Business Express. Yes, you can platform for you to do that. It's 0809 444 0981 is the WhatsApp number. 0809 444 981. That is the WhatsApp number. Today we're going to be talking about the stock markets. Now, opportunities in Nigeria's stock market, especially off the back of the loss that happened on Tuesday. That is yes. So let us know what those opportunities are and give us a clear understanding of where at Afrinvest Research and Consulting. Very good morning to you, Ikeoluwa. Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Hayo. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Okay, like I mentioned, there was a loss in the stock market on Tuesday. It was a 0.4% loss in the stock exchange. What exactly happened? What triggered it?
Okay, yeah, thank you. So yesterday, like you said, the Nigeria stock exchange markets lost. It closed on a bearish note. We saw the NGX whole share index decline by 0.4%, and it's actually reversed the gains from the beginning of the week because on Monday, the Nigeria. The all share index actually gained 0.1%. But coming down to yesterday, we saw that the market reversed that gain and even more. It's closed by 0.4%. And what triggered the loss? Would say sell-offs we saw sell-offs in some of the big guys like MTN, Zenith, Access Corp, and Access Corporation, sorry, and also Zenith Bank. Yeah, so majorly losses in those big stocks actually triggered the loss yesterday.
Okay, now in addition to what you just mentioned, causing this particular loss, I'm actually curious to know uh, what the effect of certain wider geopolitical issues could have on the NGX, or should I say, in markets, emerging markets like in Nigeria. And I'm referring, for example, have been going back and forth up and down tariffs or no tariffs, and all the drama going on in the wider world. Do these have an effect on what goes on in the markets here in Nigeria?
Yeah, okay. So really, I would say it does not really have a direct effect because the tariff war, the trade war that is actually going on in the US, because really, if you are to look at it, we saw that if you check the US stock markets, that's the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and also the Dow Jones, their markets. When you check it, you see that they've been recording some significant losses, more like investors are pulling out their funds. So really, if it is supposed to have a direct effect on the Nigerian market, let's imagine market like Nigeria, we are actually supposed to see again, we're supposed to see gains in the Nigerian market. But really, another thing that could affect it is more like investors are staying in the sideline, monitoring the economics of these emerging markets, one of which is Nigeria. So a direct effect, like maybe losses in the US, spiraling down to maybe causing again in Nigeria market. We've not seen that, at least for the past 2 weeks now, that the US markets have been, there've been some kind of funny movements in the US market. We've not seen the effect in the Nigerian market. The Nigerian market is still on its losing trend because for the beginning of March now, the the NGX all share index has been on a bearish trend. Although we've seen some gains in between, in some days, but really the NGX all share index has been on a bearish trend. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now let's bring things back home to Nigeria and take a look at some of the different sectors. Now, like we mentioned earlier, there are opportunities to be found in the markets despite the loss. So let's take a look at some of these different sectors one by one. You can give your insight as well for those who love to play in these spaces and all that. I hope your pens and your papers are ready to get some very much needed information down that Ikeoluwa is going to be sharing with us this morning. Now, let's start with the telco sector. And as you mentioned MTN earlier on. They fell by 7.46% yesterday. First of all, could this also be a function of what's been going on in the telco sector? Recently all the issues surrounding hikes or no hikes and so on and so forth. That's number one. And number two, what is your general view on telco stocks at the moment?
Okay, really. So speaking specifically about MTN, I think last week MTN actually released their full year 2024 numbers, and we actually saw that their bottom line was pressured by, the story we've been having since 2023.
Are you there, Ikeoluwa? Just for
Since we've been
okay,
having
she's
this
back.
FX crisis,
You
rising
broke up
financing
for
costs, and
a couple of
also
seconds there.
okay, yeah, so okay, so I'll go again. I said I'm speaking typically to MTN now. I mean,
Right.
last week they released their full year 2024 numbers, and analyzing the numbers, we saw that their bottom line, that's the profit after tax and the profit before tax and profit after tax, was actually pressured by the normal story that have been pressuring them. That's majorly high financing costs and also FX crisis. They've been struggling with majorly naira depreciation. That's FX crisis. So the story is not different with Airtel also. I mean, these are the two major stocks on the telecom stocks on the Nigerian stock exchange
Exchange.
market.
Okay.
So, the bottom line was pressured by the higher lease receivables, and also there's this story concerning their lease contracts also. So it's really pressured their profit before tax and also profit after tax. So although, we'll see that they've been, speaking specifically to MTN, they've been making efforts. I mean, looking at their recent numbers, they're actually making efforts in reducing their US dollar obligations. So
Right.
we expect, in Q1 numbers, we expect to see improved earnings. Same with Airtel also. Another thing is, if you notice, the FX market has been kind of stable, apart from the one that we saw, I think, late last week, where it actually went up to around 1,560. But relatively in this first quarter, the FX market has been somewhat stable, and it's even improved a bit safe. So we expect, so what is really affecting these telecom stocks is actually the naira depreciation. But really for Q1, we expect to see improved numbers, as they're trying to manage their books well in terms of their US dollar obligation. Yeah, so that's it.
All right. Interesting stuff there. Okay, so from the telco sector, I'm going to come into the banking space, and this is going to be a 2-for-1. First of all, Fidelity Bank fell by 2.57%. I just want to know, are tier two banking stocks attractive or not at this time? And on the tier one banking side, Access Core fell by 1.84%, Zenith Bank fell by 1.04%. How is it looking in the banking sector, tier two banking, tier one banking? I mean, where should we put more of the focus on right now in terms of the stocks?
Okay. So thank you for that question. So really, banking stocks generally, both tier one and tier two, they will continue to deliver like strong appeal to investors. Yes, investors would definitely, it's no brainer. Banking stocks, any investor would want to have one of the banking stocks in their portfolio. And like I said previously, what is actually happening in the market right now is the story is more of profit taking. Like, if you look at the market from January to February, the Nigeria All Share Index actually gained in January. Looking at it month on month, and also in February. So it's nothing new when you see the markets losing. More like investors are taking their profits and they are trying to reposition, for attracting. And really talking about it, this is even the best time for an investor to actually enter into the market. Prices are down, prices are looking attractive. So really about the banking sector, it's more of profit taking, because even if you look at the numbers of some of these banks that have released, like FBNH, Fidelity, they actually they actually delivered strong results. They actually delivered strong results. For example, they actually benefited from the high interest rate environments in the previous year, that's in 2024. We saw
Okay.
the CBN hiking rates. So there was hiking all these interest rates, their interest rate income, their interest income. So they actually benefited from it. Their interest income rose by about 3-digit uptick. In percentage, like 113% in interest income, especially for Fidelity. So really, and also when we look at the recapitalization story, also that's another story. So that's why I
Okay.
said the banking stocks, there's no investor, it's just more of profit taking. There's nothing how would I say it, spectacular happening right now apart from the recapitalization story. So it's more of
Okay.
profit taking, the banking stocks. Yeah.
All right. Time has actually flown by, but I need to get your thoughts very quickly. So you will summarize for us. In the oil and gas sector, Oando fell by 0.46% yesterday. So when it comes to oil and gas, how attractive are those stocks right now? Just summarize that for us.
Ah, okay. Oil and gas stocks they're actually one of the promising stocks right now. We have Seplat as one of the players, Oando as one of the players, Conoil, one of the players also. So they're actually attractive. They're promising stocks. And if you look at the sector in the past 2 years, the oil and gas sector have been delivering, like they've been one of the best performing sectors in the Nigeria All Share Index. And also when we look at 2024 numbers, you see that Seplat, Oando, Konoy, they were top 10 performing stocks. They were part of the top 10 performing stocks in 2024. So really, it's like I said, what's currently happening in the market is more of profit taking. And if you look at also, when we look at Seplat, they've been some groundbreaking deals and projects that have been going. For example, they recently acquired Mobil's upstream assets. Also,
All right.
Oando
All right.
yesterday, I think I saw the news that they selected Oando as the preferred bidder for one refinery in Trinidad and Tobago. So really, the oil and gas stocks are actually promising stocks right now, because even if you are to look at the 2024 numbers, they were actually part of the top performing stocks in Nigeria. So really, they're
Okay.
promising stocks. Yeah, thank you.
All right. I really hope you all got your pens and papers and we're able to write a couple of things down, because Ikeoluwa has been sharing some really, really good insight on the Nigerian stock market, despite the loss that happened yesterday. Thank you so much, Ikeoluwa Alabi. She's a research analyst at Afrinvest Research and Consulting. It's been a pleasure having you join me this morning.
Yeah, thank you. I am there. It's a
All
pleasure.
right.
So,
Have a great Wednesday and a great rest of your day. Cisco Delgado, I see you on WhatsApp. Very good morning to you. Great to have you. Join me as always, and thank you for the kind words. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. I've got great music lined up for you. I know a lot of people are joining to work at the moment. Don't worry, I've got you, keeping you company all the way. All right, we made it through with minimal issues.